Check, check, check. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Check one, check two. Check one, check two. Check one, check two. Hey, hey, hey. Testing one, test two. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Hey, hey, hey. Testing one, test two. Mic one, mic one. Mic one, mic one. Testing one, test two. Testing mic two, mic two. Check. Mic three, actually. Mic three. Mic three. Check two. Check four, check four. Mic check four. Check, 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 check.
that they need. Judge Kim Tenorio and Judge Lillian Ada Tenorio deserve a great deal of credit for championing treatment courts and for their unwavering dedication to treating drug addiction, mental health symptoms, and a wide variety of related issues. You will soon hear the details from Judge Liu about our mental health court docket. Once again, thank you all for being here today. Let's continue to stand together, work together, and grow together as many becoming one. Suzus Masi. And now I call the director for the essay and the poster awards presentation.
Thank you, Your Honor. We now proceed to the Law Week poster and essay contest winners. Every year on May 1st, Law Day is celebrated across the nation, and the American Bar Association selects a theme, and this year's theme, as Justice Manglonia mentioned earlier, is the Constitution's promises, which explores and renews our duties to one another under the Constitution and our democratic norms. Earlier this year, we took the theme and gave them to elementary students to visually and artistically convey the message. We gave the same theme to middle school students for their written depiction. Collectively, we received over 100 submissions. Today, we recognize our winners for their exemplary work, beginning with the poster contest winners. As I call on you, student, please come up. And also, I'd like to ask the parents or guardians of the students and their school administrator to follow them up here on the stage. And the first I will call is our Honorable Mention Award for the poster contest. Congratulations to Jaden Ray Pulido. Jaden is a 5th grade student at Green Meadow School, and Jaden's artwork represents diversity, unity, and shared principles, reinforcing the values at the heart of the message, unity in a diverse nation, which reflects the theme. As the recipient of the Honorable Mention Award, Jaden will receive a Judiciary pin, CNMI historical books, and a certificate of recognition. Our next recognition is for the Superior Court Award, and I'd like to call on Connie Zhu. Will Connie please come up? And this is for the Superior Court Award. Connie is a 4th grade student at Agape Christian School. Connie's vibrant drawing illustrates how diversity strengthens community. We belong to one nation, united by the Constitution's promise. As the recipient of the Superior Court Award, Connie will receive a Judiciary pin, CNMI historical books, and a certificate of recognition with $50 cash. Congratulations, Connie. Our next awardee is Francesca Rioni Sablan. Congratulations for receiving the Presiding Judge Award. Francesca is a 5th grade student at Coblerville Elementary School, home of the Hugging Umang. Francesca's artistic poster beautifully portrays people of all backgrounds, symbols of freedom and law, and the powerful message that out of many, we are one. As the recipient of the Superior Court Award, Francesca will receive a Judiciary pin, Cinema Historical Books, a certificate of recognition, and $75 cash. Our next awardee is Elizabeth Shee. Congratulations on receiving the Presiding Judge Award. Elizabeth is a third-grade student at Agape Christian School. Her poster stood out for its exceptional artistic portrayal of the Law Day theme as it captures justice, service, unity, and family, with the U.S. and CNMI flags at the heart of the drawing. As the recipient of the Superior Court's Presiding Judge Award, Elizabeth will receive a Judiciary pin, CNMI Historical Books, a certificate of recognition, and $100 cash. Congratulations to our 4 poster winners, and also we'd like to thank Senator Jude Hofschneider and Congressman Joseph Flores for joining us today. Next we have J.C. Quindoza. This is for the Honorable Mention Award. Will J.C. please come forward to the bench to receive your award? J.C. is an 8th grade student at Green Meadow School. J.C. is an 8th grade student at Green Meadow School, and her essay emphasizes how the CNMI thrives on unity, embodying the theme, E Pluribus Unum. For the Honorable Mention Award, J.C. will receive a Judiciary pin, CNMI Historical Books, and a certificate of recognition. Next, on the Essay Awards, we have 2 recipients for the Supreme Court Award. I'd like to call on Nicole Tangonan. Congratulations to being one of the 2 winners of the Supreme Court Award. Will Nicole please come forward with your teachers and parents? Nicole is a 7th grade student from Green Meadow School. Her essay embodies the promise of unity and diversity as seen in our Commonwealth, a community of many cultures. For the Supreme Court Award, Nicole will receive a Judiciary pin, CNMI Historical Books, a certificate of recognition, and $25. Our next awardee is Alina Villaluz. Congratulations on being the 2nd of 2 winners for the Supreme Court Award. Alina is an 8th grade student from Saipan International School, and her essay explores how Saipan exemplifies the constitutional promise through cultural preservation and national unity. For the Supreme Court Award, Alina will receive a Judiciary pin, CNMI Historical Books, a certificate of recognition, and $25. Congratulations. Our next recipient for the essay contest is for the Associate Justice Award, and this goes to Michael Quintu. Will Michael please come forward? Michael is an 8th grade student, also from Saipan International School. In his essay, Michael thoughtfully wove the history of the CNMI to the theme E Pluribus Unum. Michael will receive a Judiciary pin, CNMI historical books, a certificate of recognition, and $75. Associate Justice. And next we have the recipient of the highest essay award. This is for the Chief Justice Award, and it's presented to Jamie Andrea Palabai. Jamie is a 7th grade student from Green Meadows School. Jamie's essay stood out as she outstandingly illustrates how the CNMI symbolizes the Constitution's promise of unity, explores its relationship with the United States, and pays tribute to constitutional values. For the Chief Justice Award, Jamie will receive a Judiciary pin, CNMI historical books, a certificate of recognition, and $100. And Jamie will now read her essay at the podium.
E Pluribus Unum, the Constitution's promise in the CNMI. From the coastlines of the Northern Mariana Islands to the Congress's hallways, the U.S. Constitution acts as a strong link, bringing many people under one goal. Though geographically apart, the United States and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands have a close relationship anchored in the promise of the Constitution, E Pluribus Unum, out of many, one. But what does this promise mean for a place that is both clearly part of the American fabric and distinctly unique? Formally, the CNMI's relationship with the United States was established by the Covenant to establish a Commonwealth, which awarded U.S. citizenship and enabled local self-governance. This accord honors the varied histories of many people while reflecting the power of the Constitution to reconcile various groups under one country. Operating inside the constitutional framework, the CNMI gains from federal services and safeguards while keeping sovereignty over local laws, including land ownership rules, safeguarding indigenous Chamorro and Carolinian rights. Although CNMI citizens observe U.S. laws, several federal policies, such as minimum wage requirements and immigration restrictions, have been changed to fit the Commonwealth's social and economic circumstances. This harmony between federal power and local government shows how the Constitution lets various areas stay together without compromising their uniqueness. Civic involvement helps the promise of unity in the Constitution to be realized. CNMI citizens enthusiastically support American democracy even though they lack complete representation in Congress and cannot vote for the U.S. president. Many show allegiance to national security by serving in the American military. Others take part in municipal elections so that the Commonwealth's leadership captures the will of the people. Beyond voting, civic obligation includes community service, education, and advocacy. Through these initiatives, CNMI residents help to preserve the fundamental concept that active participation of their people determines the strength of their government. Working toward the common good, they epitomize E Pluribus Unum despite governmental restrictions. The CNMI struggles, as the larger United States does, in striking harmony between diversity and unity. Problems including political representation, indigenous rights, and economic development call for careful answers directed by constitutional values. Land ownership rules, for instance, safeguard Native people but often generate arguments about economic development. Likewise, the CNMI negotiates its political posture in the United States and seeks more representation in Congress. The Constitution guarantees that the rights and interests of the CNMI would be taken into account while preserving national unity, therefore laying a basis for handling these difficulties. The Commonwealth enhances its position inside the United States by supporting equitable laws and more involvement in federal decision-making. A living example of e pluribus unum, the CNMI shows how the Constitution honors individualism while uniting several communities. The CNMI keeps its promise of unity by striking a balance between local autonomy and federal government, participating in civic duties, and using constitutional values to solve problems. The people of the Commonwealth must remain active in determining its destiny so as to guarantee that its character and contributions remain a vital part of the nation. Thank you.
If I can ask your honors and our honorable members of the executive and legislative branch to please stand, and I'd like to call on all the students who were mentioned to please come up, our winners and our honorable mentions, please come up for a group photo. Students. Look at the gentleman on the stairwell. Thank you. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Thank you, your honors, and congratulations again to all the students, parents, and teachers. We will now transition to our second half of the event, celebrating Treatment Court Month. I now invite Judge Lillian Tenorio to share her insights into our treatment court programs and introduce our guests.
Good morning, distinguished guests. It is truly an honor for me to speak about our mental health court, one of two treatment courts under the judicial branch alongside drug court, which is supervised and run by my fellow Associate Judge Kim Tenorio. And while the names may be different, the purpose behind both is the same: hope, healing, and a chance for change. Now, mental health court began in Broward County, Florida, back in 1997 in response to the growing recognition that traditional courtrooms weren't built to handle the unique and often invisible struggles of people living with serious mental illness. These were individuals caught in a cycle of arrest, incarceration, and release without healing, without stability, and without justice, because they were sick, untreated, and unheard. So instead of locking people away, Broward County's mental health court took a bold new path, one focused on treatment over incarceration, on compassion over condemnation. They held people accountable, yes, but they also offered support, structure, and a real way forward by bringing together judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, mental health professionals, and case managers to create a collaborative and supportive path toward recovery. Now, in 2021, the Commonwealth Judiciary took that same bold step by establishing our own mental health court docket. And we did so with a clear mission to meet people where they are and to walk with them toward recovery, especially in a place like ours where resources are limited, but the need is great. It hasn't always been easy. We've had to be resourceful, creative, and committed. We face shortages in treatment programs, support groups, and even a lack of public awareness and understanding about the challenges of mental health. But what we lacked in resources, we've made up for it in determination. And we've seen the results in the lives we have changed and a justice system that's beginning to look like the community it serves. A system rooted in both justice and compassion can change lives and entire communities for the better. The mental health court docket continues to grow. Initiatives like the Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Program and efforts to explore a veterans treatment court underscore the judiciary's commitment to expanding access to appropriate care for justice-involved individuals with mental health and substance use disorder needs. Every week, our mental health court docket team, MHCD, gathers together to review and discuss each participant's journey to recovery. As the judge assigned to MHCD, I am proud to work alongside a team of people who bring every week their hearts and their expertise to this effort. The psychiatrists and counselors from CHCC and its agencies, Community Guidance Center, ASU, and TLC, the Transitional Living Center. We are also partners with Isla Community Health System, and we have on our team representatives from the Department of Public Safety, the Department of Corrections, and of course the Office of the Attorney General and the Public Defender's Office. Without them, I think the work would be harder for the court, but together we're making a difference for those participants that we have who are challenged by serious mental illness. And now at this point, I have the great pleasure of introducing someone who embodies that same spirit of dedication and hope, a vital part of our MHCD team from TLC. I'm proud to introduce Maritoni Duarte.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maritoni Duarte, and I've had the privilege of serving as a caseworker with the Community Guidance Center's Transitional Living Center for the past 6 years. Since 2021, I've worked closely with our local mental health treatment court, and I'm honored to share with you what that work has meant, not just for our participants, but for me personally. The theme of today, out of many, one, couldn't be more fitting for what we do. Every day, we bring together people from different systems, courts, treatment centers, probation, social services, and people with different experiences stories, and struggles. And somehow, out of all those pieces, we come together to form one team with one shared goal: healing. Treatment courts are about more than avoiding jail. It's about giving people the tools and support they need to build stable, meaningful lives. When someone's involvement in the legal system is tied to an untreated mental health condition, the court steps in with a different response, one that prioritizes treatment, structure, accountability, and most importantly, human dignity. This court doesn't just ask, "What did you do?" It also asks, "What happened to you? And how can we help?" As a caseworker, I have walked alongside our participants through every step of their journey. Alongside the treatment court, we help individuals navigate everything from housing and appointments to medication management, recovery strategies, and crisis planning. Some days that means connecting with someone with a bed in a shelter or calling to remind them about their therapy session. Other days, it means simply being the person who picks up the phone when they're having a rough moment and need to talk. It's hands-on work. It's deeply personal work, and it matters. I'd like to share a story about Jason, not his real name. When Jason first entered our court, he was living on the streets, struggling with untreated depression and addiction. But once he entered the mental health treatment court, something changed. He had a team around him, professionals who weren't there just to punish him, but to support him. Over time, he stabilized. He secured permanent housing through the treatment court. He started attending group therapy, and eventually, he has been able to rebuild relationships with his family and create new ones with his peers in recovery. That transformation didn't happen overnight. It took patience, trust, and a community of support. And that's exactly what this court provides. I've also seen how powerful simple consistency can be. Our participants come in having been let down by the system again and again. For them, even something as basic as showing up when you say you will, keeping a promise, listening without judgment, can begin to shift their perspective. At the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation Community Guidance Center, we believe that everyone deserves the chance to heal. The Mental Health Treatment Court gives us a platform to act on that belief every day. And it takes all of us, judges, clinicians, peer specialists, probation officers, family members, and neighbors. Out of many roles comes one mission. And for participants, out of many challenges comes one renewed life. I've seen people go from complete instability, no housing, unmanaged symptoms, total isolation, to rejoining their communities and feeling proud of their progress. It's not always easy, and it's rarely perfect, but it's real and it works. They reduce recidivism, but more importantly, they restore lives. They remind us that justice doesn't have to be cold or distant. It can be human. To our community, I want to say thank you. Thank you for supporting programs like this. Your belief in second chances allows us to do this work. And your presence here means you care about solutions, not just consequences. Because out of many stories, many barriers, and many voices comes one shared hope, that everyone deserves a chance to be well, to be whole, and to come home. Justice can be many things, but when it includes compassion, support, and a path to recovery, it becomes something much more powerful. It becomes healing. Thank you.
can we get another standing ovation? Wasn't that awesome? Hard work for her and all of the treatment court partners. Thank you, Maritoni, and our treatment court judges, Judge Lillian Tenorio and Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio. And now we are on to our proclamation for the treatment court month. The proclamation is in front of the stage, and I'd like to ask that as we call our dignitaries to please come forward and sign. We will start now with Lieutenant Governor Apatang. My apologies. We should have the proclamation read. I sped right through that. I'm so sorry. We're going to have our proclamation read, and to share with us what the proclamation says, I'd like for you to please welcome DOC Officer Manuel Camacho, who is a drug court graduate, and a participant, Abigail Duenas.
Morning. CNMI Treatment Court Month, May 2025. Whereas treatment court have been restoring lives and families for more than 3 decades, and whereas there are now over 4,000 treatment courts nationwide, and whereas treatment courts are the cornerstones of justice reform sweeping the nation, and whereas treatment courts have served 1.5 million individuals, and whereas they are now recognized as the most successful justice system intervention in our nation's history, and whereas there are saved an average of 6,000 for every individual that they serve, and whereas treatment courts significantly improve mental health and substance use disorder treatment outcomes, substantially improve mental health, reduce addiction and related crime, and do so at less expense than any other criminal justice strategy. And whereas treatment courts improve education, employment, housing, and financial stability, promote family reunification, reduce foster care placement, and increase the rate of addicted mothers delivering babies who are fully drug-free. And whereas treatment courts facilitate community-wide partnership, bringing together public safety and public health professionals. And whereas treatment courts demonstrate that when one person rises out of substance use and crime, we all rise. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Whereas the CNMI Drug Court was established by law in 2015, and whereas the CNMI Drug Court is currently serving 32 active participants, and whereas the CNMI Drug Court had 95 participants graduate from the program, and whereas the CNMI Mental Health Court was established by law in 2021, and whereas the CNMI Mental Health Court is currently serving 2 participants, and whereas the CNMI Mental Health Court had 2 participants complete their conditional discharge, and whereas the time has come to put a treatment court within reach of every eligible person in need. Thank you.
As Officer Manny Camacho said, can we please all rise for these 2 drug court representatives? Great job, guys. Thank you. And also, I'd like to put a shout out to DOC Commissioner for being a great employer. And now, on to the signing. I would like to call on Lieutenant Governor Apatang to please come forward for that final the final proclamation and the signing.
Now therefore be it resolved that I, David M. Apatang, Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, by virtue of the authority vested in us by the Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands, hereby proclaim May 2025 as CNMI Treatment Court Month, in witness hereunto set my hands this 25th day of April in the year 2025.
Thank you, LT. Now I'd like to call on the leaders of our legislature, Senate President Mendola and House Speaker Villagomez. Mr. Speaker. Our utmost appreciation to our other two branches who are here to join us today. And next is our Chief Justice, Castro, Justice Manglonia, and Justice Enos. Presiding Judge Roberto Naraha and all of our associate judges, Judge Kenneth Gavendo, Judge Joseph Camacho, Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio, and Judge Lillian Ada Tenorio. And there we have it. May 2025 is our treatment court month. This concludes our Law Week and Treatment Court Proclamation ceremony. Congratulations to all of our winning students, and please, everybody, remain for an additional photo. We would like to thank our government leaders for joining us here today, for our schools, parents, and all of our treatment court partners. And we also would like to thank the CNMI Judiciary staff who really prepped to make today a successful event. Thank you to all of our community members, Saipan, Tinian, who joined us online for this ceremony. Please join us next week for the Attorney General's Cup competition set for Friday, May 2nd. Thank you, everybody. If I can have all the members of the legislative branch up on stage and our bar president, our council member. Come on up. And everybody else, if you can surround the stage down here, our photographer is up on the stairwell. Everybody else, please try to fit in the photo. Everyone, please try to fit in the photo. Come on up. Come this way. Yeah, over here. Come around and turn.